Hi, I'm William Davidson, and welcome back to another episode of Chasing Sunsets. The episode you're watching right now isn't the one that was meant to come out today, but it's an episode that I felt needed to be released first. When I was in preparation for this next full length episode, I had recorded something else, and I was actually pretty happy with it. I was fine tuning some details, getting some editing work done, and then I went to pull up my YouTube account and saw that it was terminated. I didn't see it coming. I couldn't believe that it was gone. And I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that it affected me a lot more than I want to admit. I was ready to give up. I was ready to throw in the towel. All the time I spent preparing for this, towards creating, towards even building up the confidence to even click submit, all that was about to be gone. And I just had to really sit with it. It was really hard because I just started feeling the momentum. To know that I'd only had two videos released at the time and to see my account terminated, I didn't know what to think. And it just got me really, really thinking. I'd been tracking everything through the YouTube Studio app. I had just been checking on the statistics and all the analytics of it. And I was very pleased that a lot of you out there are listening to it. And when it was taken away from me, it just really hit my heart. It was in that moment I really had to wrestle with, am I doing this out of conviction, or am I doing this just to seek confirmation? I had asked myself, am I producing these episodes? Am I creating all this just to further seek the things that I once did that destroyed me? Or am I going to create, continue to not give up on my intentional pursuit because I feel convicted, because I feel called, because I want to continue to chase my sunset? Shouldn't matter if YouTube is up or not. And when it was taken away from me, I that was a question I really had to wrestle with myself. Am I really doing this out of confirmation, or am I really doing this from conviction? But this episode isn't about YouTube. It's about what you do when something you're building disappears. Sometimes the sun doesn't set slowly. Sometimes it disappears without warning. And it's within that disappearing that we have to really check and evaluate ourselves. You'll hear things online of it takes 60 to 90 days to start some good habits. There's been plenty of times in my life where I tried to take weight loss seriously. I tried to get my life back on track seriously. And early on, I saw momentum. I saw the weight fall off. I saw progress in my job. I saw progress with family members. And even in this, I've gotten a lot of support. I've gotten a lot of help from friends, family. I've gotten a lot of wonderful feedback from all of you listening. And it's in that momentum, you feel really good. You feel like you're making progress. You feel like you're really doing something good and healthy. But when that momentum dies down, you have to ask yourselves, who are we really are? It was really disappointing to have that momentum taken away from me. I felt like I was firing on all cylinders. I felt like I was making such massive improvement. I felt like I was taking great strides. It happened before with my weight loss. I remember one time I lost 30 pounds in a month. I felt phenomenal about myself. But I had to ask myself, why is it that I fell off? Why is it that I allowed myself to gain back the weight? Why is it that I stopped pursuing that increase at my job? Why is it that I stopped reaching out to that family member? Why is it that I stopped caring about myself? I've realized that it's really, really easy to see momentum as identity. When you first start implementing things into your life and you start making drastic changes, it can be nerve-wracking to take that first step. But once you start getting it going, you feel like you're making a bunch of progress. You feel like the world's at your fingertips. You feel like nothing can stop you and you're full steam ahead. Not if, but when life happens and you have a day that's off. You have a week that's off. You have a run-in with that coworker. You have a cheat day. For me, I had my YouTube account taken away. It will weigh you down. It will tear you apart. It will really convict you in that moment. Why is it that you're really doing this? Is it so people can look at me better in the break room? Is it so you guys can think of me higher? Am I trying to lose weight so I can look better for everyone else and not live a healthy lifestyle? If I'm making all these changes just to seek confirmation, then it so easily will I allow myself to fall out. I'll fall out of the consistency. I'll lose sight in that sunset. When you make all these changes, you're getting the compliments, you're getting the affirmation. It is a wonderful feeling. I don't doubt any of that. But when that sun sets, even when you don't expect it to, even if it rushed away, even if you weren't able to catch it, yes, you made progress, but are you allowing all that quick progress to define you? Because there's plenty of times where I allowed it to define me. And the fact that you're listening to this or watching this episode right now is proof that I'm no longer letting that darkness define me. I can cling on to hope. Yes, it's disappointing to have these things taken away from you. Yes, it can be disappointing to put so much hard work into something, still get on the scale and you went up a pound. To still try so hard and not get that promotion at work. To try so hard and not make a breakthrough with that family member or friend. Yes, it can be so difficult, but you can't let that define you. Yes, momentum is wonderful. Yes, it is a good thing. But don't let that momentum be your identity. You know, a part of me is really glad that my YouTube account got taken away. Because I realized at that point that I thought all of me was building chasing sunsets from conviction. I thought everything I was doing was because I felt so called to it. I felt like this was my sunset. I thought this was the life I was meant to live. You know, I thought I was building all of this from conviction, but then I realized that parts of me were building this from confirmation. I will admit I was addicted to the statistics. I checked multiple times a day. I felt like the feedback I was getting from you guys was validating my message. It was validating my purpose. And I'm here to admit that that was all the wrong things. I feel called to produce this. I feel called to give this message out. And I'm doing this because I know I'm worth investing in myself. I create these episodes as proof that I'm no longer the person I once was. I do these as much for you as I do it for myself. I do it to prove that I am obedient. Yes, I have a lot of work to do in some areas, but I promise that I will end every day faithful. I will end every day true. And that's something I just want to call you to do, because conviction doesn't require applause. Conviction doesn't panic when visibility disappears. Conviction builds even when no one is watching. It was from this event happening to me and so many other events in my life like it that I had to truly internalize, like, what is my motive? What is the why behind what I do? Recently, I was at a mental health wellness retreat, which was very transformative and very much needed. And something that one of the speakers brought up was the 7 whys. So when this happened to me, I had to ask myself, why? Why, William, are you building Chasing Sunsets? Why is it that the YouTube account broke down? Why is it that you feel like a failure? Why do you want to throw in the towel? It was by diving deeper into these whys that I truly found, like, you know, what is it? What is my purpose for doing this? Is my purpose so I can grow a platform? Or is my purpose so I can grow my message? I can ask you, what is your purpose? Is your purpose to reach greater status among your friends and family? Is your purpose to achieve higher accolades at work? Is your purpose to do all these wonderful things in life just so you can be validated? Just so you can have the applause? Or is your purpose your why for doing it because that is what you feel called to? Do you want to take that leadership promotion because you feel called to lead the group of people? Do you feel called to reach out to that family or friend? Do you feel called to do all these things because you want a better relationship with them? You want a better relationship with yourself, even if they don't applaud you, even if they don't say thank you. But you can go home and you can lay your head down at night, and rather than feeling empty, you could feel fulfilled. There was once a time in my life when I felt like the world was in the palm of my hand. I had gotten a new job. I had worked and saved up a lot of money. I did get that house. I did get that new car, but I was doing it all for the wrong why. And when I went to lay my head down at night, I would cry. I felt empty. I felt like I wasn't good enough. And that's what led to all the unhealthy and toxic habits. You know, it's important for you to build even when no one is watching. It's important for you to not give up on yourself. Don't live your life for confirmation, but build a life based on the conviction. Build your life because you feel called to go do that thing, because you want to give back to your community, because you want to do what's best for you in your life. Find your sunset, chase your sunset. If you can go do the things you do in your life, and you can look in the mirror and be happy with that person, that's so wonderful. But if you're still going to bed at night, having nightmares, you don't feel good, you feel like you made everyone else in the world happy, you feel like you uplifted every single other person, but along the way you forgot you. Don't build a life based off of that. It's not worth gaining all these things. It's not worth gaining the applause, gaining the title at work, gaining the acceptance from everybody, yet you're losing and forfeiting your very self. Don't build your life off of confirmation. Build a life that's based off of your convictions. Build a life that is more aligned with you and who you are and who you want to be. I had to realize if something this small could shake me, maybe I needed it. There's a lot of moments in life that recently I've talked to my therapist about, man, I'm doing so good. I feel like I've made a lot of improvements, but it's just one small thing. It just grinds my gears. One small little incident can just shake up my whole world. Like I said, you have to ask yourself why. If there's things in your life that are shaking you up, making it hard to go through the day, that are making it difficult to some good sleep, and you have to ask yourself, why is it? Why is it that I'm so shaken up? Maybe I need it. Maybe it's a wake-up call. Sometimes when you're on your growth and healing journey, it'll expose your hidden attachments. Old William was attached to confirmation, and all this incident did was expose that parts of me are still attached to that. And that's something I know I need to work on. Despite making so much progress, despite having conquered so many things in my life, I then realized that, William, you don't have it all figured out. You have some loose screws you got to work on. You know what? That's okay. Because like I said, I'm going to end every day faithful. Because sometimes in disruption, you'll find clarification. It took my whole life shattering to really clarify, what do I want in this life? What do I want my day-to-day to look like? What do I want my day-to-day to feel like? Because how I feel matters. How you feel matters. And we shouldn't be living our lives that are constantly being shaken. If we feel like we're constantly going in the dumps, we're constantly feeling like we're doing the best for everyone else, but nothing feels right, nothing feels good. That's not a way to live your life. The sun doesn't panic when it drops behind the horizon because it knows it's going to come back. Ask yourself, the things that you're chasing in your life, when they slip away, when you made that quick progress, when you've gotten some momentum into the things in your life that you're working on, when they slowly fade away, when life happens, do you panic? I know I did. But remember, those things will come back. You just have to have faith. You have to have hope. Don't put your faith and hope in that small, brief moment. Don't put your faith and hope in the titles and the affirmations. Put your faith and hope in you, and knowing that that sun will rise and it will set again. And even when it goes away, even when it disappears, it'll come back. And I will intentionally live my life so that I can see it again, so that I can reaffirm it again. My account may have been terminated, but this vision wasn't. My conviction wasn't. I'm going to continue to live my life despite what may tear me down. I'm going to continue to live my life that's more aligned with who I am. So I just want to ask you these. I just want you to sit with them, dwell on them, and think about these. What are some things that ended in your life that felt like proof you should quit? Again, what are some things that ended in your life that felt like proof you should quit? Just sit and think about that. And then ask yourself, am I building a life that's based off of my conviction, that's based off of my heart? Or am I building a life that's based off of validation? If I stopped applauding me, would I still do the things I do? I realized for me, when YouTube went down, I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to do the things I'm going to do. I'm still going to create this episode. I'm still going to continue to chase sunsets. And I still want to invite you, and I still want to help you to chase your very own sunsets. Because something you have to think is, when the sun disappears in your life, do you feel like it's gone forever? When I saw that termination, I knew that wasn't the sunset. It was in that moment that I saw the parts of confirmation, parts of validation, that they were revealed. But I knew that my true sunset was from conviction. It was from my heart. It was from purpose. So you have to ask yourself, when my sun goes away, when it disappears, when the sunset that was created uniquely for you, when it disappears, do you think that it's gone forever? So here's my challenge to you. Is there something that you've been afraid to start? Whether that's that new project, whether that's the breakup, whether that's taking the next step towards that promotion, whether that's reaching out to that friend or family member. Is there something that you've been afraid to start? And then ask yourself, what is it that you're waiting on? Once you defined the thing that you've been waiting to start, ask yourself, what are you waiting on? Why is it that you're waiting to pursue it? What little action, what little thing are you trying to say, oh, when this happens, then I will go and start that thing? You know, I could have waited for my account to come back on to figure it all out before I recorded. But I tell myself, no. The purpose is the mission. My mission is to help and uplift as many people as I can. I'm not going to allow some platform, some title to prevent me from my mission. So ask yourself, what is it that's preventing you from your mission? You know, today I want to encourage you to take one step. Do it, even though you don't feel ready. Because ready isn't a feeling. Ready is a choice. Let today be the day that you say, I'm no longer going to live based off of confirmation. I'm no longer going to try and please and uplift all the people in my life and leave no room, no space, no time, no energy for myself. No longer am I going to continue to go do the things because I want the likes, I want the comments, I want people to cheer me up, I want people to make me happy when I'm at work because of all the great things I've done. I don't want to allow my success, I don't want to allow my joy to be defined by that. I'm allow my joy to be defined because I show up every day faithful to myself. I show up every day taking positive steps towards being the person I want to be, the person I feel called to. Every day I cling on to that sunset. I cling on to that wonderful beauty of a life that was created uniquely for me. And despite when it disappears over the horizon, I will wake up the next day and walk in confidence because I know it'll come back. Find the sunset that was created uniquely for you. Live the life that's more aligned with you. Stop giving up on yourself. You are worth investing in yourself. You know, my account may never come back, but I'm still here. And I promise I'm still going to keep building this. I'm still going to keep reaching out to so many people. I'm still going to try my best to help uplift and encourage as many of you as I can. I don't care if the platform is there or not, because nothing is going to take away my voice and my heart. And I know that the sun will rise again. The only question is, will you? Because remember, you're allowed to be where you are, but you're not meant to stay there. I'm William Davidson, and I'll see you next time on Chasing Sunsets.